I'm driving in my car with somebody and I throw on some breakcore and they just seem lost. Like, you know, you're driving in the car, you tap your foot along to the thing, and I'm like watching their foot and it's like, whoa, what track are you listening to right now? There's a lot of pieces to it, you know? Lots of crazy arrangements, lots of fun stuff in my opinion for dancing. So many amazing arrangements going on and you can pick any one you want, you know? But let's go back to the start real quick and I'll count it off and show you how it breaks down exactly back down to that 4-bar phrasing. Probably like 2004-ish, somewhere around there. I mean, people made this stuff in like 95 too, though. You know, but they make it today too. Yeah, they take influence back from that. Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
I said, and then there's a bridge.
Right, exactly. Yeah, not every track has bridges, but let's not even go over that. We've got a lot to go through even. But anyways, I just wanted to show like a basic idea of, even if the track seems way complicated, if it's electronic music, odds are it's gonna be that same timing. There's a lot of nicer stuff in between, a lot of maybe a little more complex stuff in between, but the underlying thing, if you really want to get down to it, you can always fall back to that. So just keep that timing in mind. Go over the next thing. That's the best thing to learn from all of this though, is that underlying foundation of almost all electronic music and a lot of other genres of music is that it's all predictable. Most of it is predictable at one point or another. And that's what dance is based on, predictability. If you had like a track that was constantly varying in tempo, like it was like 80, 81, 85, 90, 200, you know, it was all over the place, how would you even dance to that? How would you, stepping, know when to put your foot down next if you couldn't tell when the next beat was gonna drop? How would you know? You would be, you know, it would be ridiculous, you know? And there would be no, that consistent tempo that Eric was talking about earlier is what helps in prediction of music. You, for the most part, know the tempo will not change, especially in electronic music. So you have this bounce that you can always work with. And you know once you get that bounce going, it's gonna keep going for at least 3 minutes, you know? And that's how you can dance to it, is that tempo that Eric was talking about. That's your level of predictability, knowing the tempo is going to stay the same. Then once you have that tempo, you can apply that 4-bar that I was just talking about and start chopping it up in 4s. And that's how you can change with the music. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hit that like a box rail, for instance, and use one beat for one corner, the next beat for the next corner, the next beat for the next corner. Things of that nature. You can do switches like that to beats. Let's move on for a sec. All right, another thing I'm going to talk about the idea of cues and builds, or builds and cues, in that especially with dubstep, little with glitch hop, with a lot of trance music. Did I hear someone scoff? With a lot of trance music, with filtered house, with filtered house, you get these things called builds, where it sounds like an escalation of the track. And it keeps getting, and it cuts off. Or it drops into something much larger. It cuts off and it builds back up, and it cuts off, builds back up. You know, these builds help us as dancers to let us know when to go maybe into a circle and when to go out of a circle. Or when to come in and do a blow-up move right at a drop, and then wind it down from there, and then build it back up. We're building with our dance. You know, one thing about electronic music, and perhaps maybe it's in other music genres too, but let's just, like I said, let's just stick with electronic music for now, is that tracks are very progressive as they go along, for the most part. You get one sound, and you get two sounds, and then you get three sounds, and you get four sounds, and then maybe it'll go into a bridge or a breakdown or something, and then it just starts back up again. It's progressive in nature. So your dance can build with it. You can build with the music. As the music builds, your dance builds. You can build from simplicity to complexity with the music. So just keep that in mind, and that as music builds, your dance can build with it. But one thing I use a lot with dubstep, I'll throw some on, maybe not dubstep, but some bass music from Bass Nectar. So if you listen right now, we've got like a synth pad going on in the background, that wow, and then like a bass kick, and then there's a little synth on, or a little piece of percussion on top of it, and then he just added another thing in, and now he'll add another thing. So yeah, it's like this little piece of escalation to it, and that little piece of escalation, that's those scales going up, is just a reminder to our ear, like, hey, this track is going somewhere, you know? And now, as the bass kicks double, again, it's another piece of progression that says, hey, we're going somewhere with this, and so when you think about it with dance, especially with musicality, when you're trying to be very intentional about showing how good you are with the music. So we had that intro, which was about 40 seconds long, and it had some basic things to it, and you could really get down to details with that intro and show every little piece that was coming in, and then maybe expand it out with the with that synth pad that was going in the background for some texture. And then when it drops, it's like, to me, that's like you just blew your whole load on an intro. You just showed all this amazing detail and musicality for an intro, you know? Like, build it up, and get it to the drop, and then go off, you know? Especially with bass music nowadays. Fidget house, dubstep, glitch hop, drum step, stuff like that. They have builds and drops. And then it winds back down, it builds up and drops. And you can move your dance with the music in that way, and that you can build it up and then do some kind of blow up motion and then really go off from there. And then, you know, get out of the circle, and then the next person gets the next build. You know, it's like, I kind of think of it like surfing, not that I'm a surfer, but watch some documentaries. You know? But it's like you're paddling out, and you catch a wave, and you ride that wave, and then the next person behind you catches the next wave, and they ride that wave, you know? It's similarly with this kind of music that I'm talking about, this build, drop centric music, where it's like you get the first drop, bam, you get out of the circle, next person, they come in during the build, they get the next drops, etc. It's just a really, musically, it's a very simplistic way of keeping a circle kind of in check, you know? Everybody knows the guy that gets in the circle and stays in there for like 20 minutes, Tommy. And you know, you don't want to be that guy.
Unless you're tiny.
Unless you're Tiny Love, and Tiny Love's okay. But you know what I mean? That's just maybe something to think about. Something to think about to regulate your own time in a circle. And so instead of thinking like, oh man, I'm tired, I should get out of the circle right now, that's not a very graceful way to exit a circle. You know, you exit a circle gracefully by doing it to the music. So something to keep in mind. But to get those builds and predict those drops, it's still based in that 4-bar phrase that I was talking about, but even easier. The music is giving you a cue as to when it's going to drop. It's building, and that's a cue for you as a dancer to understand that it's going somewhere. So, I don't know if you guys heard that cue. It's, to me, I think that should be a pretty simple idea. It's music escalates upward. And that's how you could be timing your dance with drops, is hear the escalation, hear the build, and then understand that something big is about to happen, or that it's about to drop back down, or what have you. But you can time your dance that way. You got something over there, Jared? You stretching?
No, I'm just fixing my broken arm.
All right. All right. I'm gonna. I got 2 more things. There's this idea I've been thinking about a lot, and it's especially when I see with locking, an idea called style versus content. It comes really from HTML, like separating the content of your page from the style of your page. Nerd. I know. And I don't even know HTML. That's what kills me. So that's what it really came from when I started picking up on this idea. As David pointed out to me, style isn't the best word to use here because style can mean so many different things. And really, it doesn't even mean what I'm going to be using it for. But whatever, I like to keep it nerdy. So style versus content. I'm gonna just throw something quick on, and yeah. Where is this? Yeah,
or somewhere in the here, rap get a little, and I really feeling here. I don't then take it to the next. I know you're feeling it too. Truly, I wanna really deeply get to. 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 Truly, I wanna really deeply get to.
Something simple like that. So I took the cadence of the vocalist, and he said, "Truly, I wanna really get to." And I just did that. Is that something that anyone in this room couldn't do?
On one side, you know that tap 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 was coming to the end of the song. You wouldn't have known that tap tap.
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm going to talk about that. I'll talk about it. You're right.
To be fair, that's a chorus, so you know after the first time.
You know after the first time. You know after the first time. I'm going to talk about that too. Give me a second. Did you have something to mention?
I thought I was weird if I did two words, because I could do it to words and music.
Okay, yeah. You can do it to both. Absolutely. The trick is when you're doing it to both, if you're trying to do like the drums and the vocals at the same time, it can get messy, maybe for an onlooker to keep following you. So maybe you just want to choose one or the other. Matt?
I have a distinction is what I try to do is hear first, then move. So I'm following the music, I use my ears. So like, if I'm going to hit after the beat on everything, to the onlooker, if I hear something then move, it looks just the same as something that I
already knew. Okay.
That you're.
It's the idea of faking musicality.
Right.
If anybody wants. Okay, I started faking predictability. Sorry, faking predictability. We'll say it that way.
I don't mean to like. I just don't think faking is
okay, that's fine. Well, I said I don't think style is the right word, but I'm going to use it anyway. So, like I said, oh, sorry.
I think a lot of people want to be on beat and not. You have to understand that this music is actually, you hear it from the inside out, not from the outside in. So basically, you are that music. So, you don't have to predict if you, I'm trying to predict. No, you're thinking that you're trying to predict. So you're not hearing the music, you're hearing that you are thinking of predicting.
That's why, like,
so
I'm not out there dancing and counting this music off in my head. That's ridiculous. But this is something that's, these counts have been ingrained into my body. So I'm just trying to break these counts down for people to maybe start ingraining them. Don't think about this shit on the dance floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. No, please don't. But I think everybody, please, don't. Yeah, But this is just something to break down for people, just to take home and think about and try and get it ingrained into your body, so you don't have to think that.
Yeah, I studied theater for too long.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of stuff to be learned from that realm of really what you're talking about is these are predictable moments, right? And prediction is not in and of itself human compelling. It's not compelling whether or not you can know when something's going to hit the floor, but it's compelling when you can say, the artist is saying something, and at this point they're their musicality is it wants you to feel angry at this point and then not feel angry. And we know how to contour that into something that we can articulate, right? And so it's everything here is just an artist speaking, and it is very mathematical. And what's great is sometimes I'm dancing and I'm expecting a break, And then all of a sudden, it's like not there, but like now I know the stakes are twice as high. It will take twice as long for the breaking time. Like it's just this math of like knowing, yeah, exactly what you're talking about. But it's this narrative of what they're saying, how they're saying it, and then what you want to say and how you want to say it, and being able to, these are just tools for those.
Tools, exactly, tools.